Okay, so you made it to week 6. Good job. We're getting there through this course, and you're doing a wonderful job with the assignments and the reflections and the discussions. It's all going very well, I think, for this course. And so, what we're doing this week is continuing on our discussion about chronic diseases. Last module, we talked about depression and irritable bowel and obesity, and now we're continuing on with 3 additional chronic conditions: high blood pressure or hypertension, diabetes, specifically type 2 diabetes, and then coronary artery disease. And so, consistent with what we talked about last week, at least in the video, by way of introduction for these topics last week, I want you to read not only what's in the book, but some additional references on these conditions that I think will help you understand them, of course, at a deeper level, help you to relay that information to folks you were working with to help them understand it at a deeper level. But also, you can probably see, again, why did we pick these topics out of all of the ones that we could pick? And as you'll notice, the cardiovascular is kind of a theme here with these particular chronic conditions. And so we've got blood pressure and diabetes and coronary artery disease. Although diabetes, isn't cardiovascular in its nature, certainly leads to high incidence of cardiovascular disease, so it's definitely related there. So blood pressure, it's in there because it is, again, the prevalence of it is very large. But it's also in there because we can do so much good stuff, lifestyle related. We know that exercise has a great effect. We know that certain foods increase blood pressure and others can help decrease. We know that that sleep and stress and alcohol and tobacco all have a significant effect on blood pressure. And we know that blood pressure has such a large effect on the incidence of cardiovascular disease in general. So we needed to put it in there for so many reasons like that. It also, in my opinion, needed to be in there to give more attention to it. I think sometimes we feel like we are so used to hearing about blood pressure, so used to talking about it, so used to knowing somebody who has high blood pressure that we don't give it the credit that it actually deserves. It so closely relates to high incidence of coronary artery disease and cardiovascular disease in general that sometimes we feel like it's probably not, it's kind of white noise. And we're so used to it that we just don't pay that much of attention to it. And financially, it has a huge impact on us for cardiovascular disease, if you even want to go down that road. So it needed to get more attention, and I hope that by the end of your time studying the hypertension topic, that you feel the same way, that it's something that we need to do a better job at, just as a community addressing blood pressure issues and relaying that to people who have high blood pressure, the importance of it. Of course, then diabetes has to be there. This, I tell you what, this is one of those conditions that just continues to increase. I'll go this way. Continues to increase as we move through time. Back in the mid-50s, when the CDC started collecting data on the incidence of diabetes, we, as Americans, less than 1% of us had type 2 diabetes. And it's predicted by the CDC that in 2050 that over a third of Americans are going to have diabetes. A 100-year swing of having not very many to having over a third is, to say the very least, cause for concern. So we need to understand it better. Why is it? What is the true reasons why this is happening? So we need to understand some of it about pathophysiology and the treatment, and also the prevention, but really taking that even backwards several notches to say, okay, what is the true cause? What is really going on here? And then we can start working that way forward at trying to make some headway for diabetes. Many times this culminates in coronary artery disease or cardiovascular disease for folks, and so that's why that's in there also, so that we get a good handle on these things coming together, ultimately ending up in cardiovascular disease for folks, because the incidence of that is high. It's still the number one cause of death in the U.S. We know, though, that people who have cardiovascular disease, the reasons why they have cardiovascular disease are lifestyle related. What we really need to know, though, is why sometimes they're lifestyle related. What's the reasons why people aren't doing those, and that's where we hope to get to for folks, is this whole business of why don't people eat better or exercise more or sleep the way they should, and that's what I think we're going to hopefully get to, the real causes of why someone would have coronary artery disease downstream, so to speak. So we need to swim upstream, find out what the real issues are, so that we can do a better job downstream at making sure people don't have those conditions when they get there. So that's it. That's Module 6. I almost forgot where we were, Module 6. So we just got 2 left, and hope you're enjoying the course so far. Let me know if I can help in any way. Thanks.